that should be good to go. One last check here, really quick. All right, that should be it. That should be. Yep. Okay, so it looks like there's a bit of a delay on the stream, so I won't be able to interact with you guys as much as I'd like to, but that's okay. So right out of the gates, I just want to say that I've never done this before, so I don't know if my audio is mixed well. I'm working with a garbage microphone, so you'll have to forgive that. Other than that, let's get to it. So, who am I? Before I get started with the game itself, I just want to talk about who I am and what I'm doing here. So, my name's Greg, and I live in London, Ontario, and I've been working on this game for a little over 3 years. I have done virtually everything myself. It's actually easier for me to talk about what I haven't done than what I have. But yeah, 95% of what you're about to see is 100% homegrown. 95% is 100% homegrown. What else? So I want to talk about what's inspired me. Valley Nights started out as an XCOM clone. If you guys are familiar with the game XCOM, that's kind of where I wanted to go. I wanted to build this grand strategy kind of over tactical kind of game where you're looking at tactics and long-term strategy on multiple tiers. You have the in-game, the moment-to-moment tactics of the soldiers in the field, and then you have the grander, longer-term strategy of planning your base, planning your research. That was the original vision for Valley Nights. I didn't quite achieve that, but that's okay. That was the original inspiration. Since then, I've taken inspiration from other games like Faster Than Light and Darkest Dungeon. I think that those two games on their own are exemplary of the roguelike genre. I believe, it's my opinion, that if you're looking for the penultimate roguelike experience, you're going to want to pick up one or both of those games and play them, because that's been the driving design force behind what I'm doing here with Valley Nights. Those two games have been informative in my design decisions. Later on, I picked up a few cues from a game called Slay the Spire. I think that even though that game is graphically lacking, I think that the design intent behind that game is phenomenal. If you have a chance to play Slay the Spire, go check it out. So, what is Valley Nights? How is it played? I'm going to only go into it very briefly here. Obviously, in a few minutes, you're going to see more of the game. But Valley Nights is played in two primary phases. It's number one, you're going to be in the campsite. This is where you're going to do all of your level ups. You're going to manage your class and your talents and your gear. As well, you're going to do any crafting that with any components that you find during your travels. You're going to manage your inventory. You're going to manage your soldiers. And then, as you get out onto the world map, you'll get into the tactics battle themselves, which is where the influence and inspiration from XCOM came in. It's a top-down tactical view played on a hex grid board. XCOM is square board. My game is in hex. It's not new or original in any way. There are dozens of games out there, tactics games that are played on hex grids. Valley Nights is one of them. In the battles, you will battle various enemies, you will collect experience and loot from those battles, and then return to the campsite and then continue that loop. So before I get started with the game, I just want to talk about what I'm doing, what the stream is, and what it's not. So what it is, primarily, is a way for me to catalog bugs. As I push closer to a Steam release, I want to make sure that this game is as bulletproof as I can make, and that effort um, is what you're seeing here today. I want to talk about the bugs that I find. I want to talk about why they're bugs. I want to talk about how I plan to fix them. I also want to talk about the balance in the game. At this very early stage, not a lot's been balanced, so I want to talk about opportunities that I see to balance those elements of the game and what I think would make those elements more fun or challenging or both. This stream is also a showcase of what I've been working on. Valley Nights has been a long work of dedication and love on my part, and I'd like to show you that. I want you to experience and enjoy what I'm sharing with you today in the hopes that you'll enjoy it as much as I do. As with anything else I've done in the past 3 years, this is entirely experimental, so please bear with me. This is new, so it's probably not the best, most professional stream you've ever seen, but I promise you I will get better at this as I go. Some things that I do want to note, what this isn't. Valley Nights is not finished even remotely. It is still very much a work in progress. Nothing that you are about to see is final. Yeah, so that's about it. Let's get into it. Let's start a new game. I'm starting with a fresh profile. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but Valley Nights has a long-term roguelike progression in the mechanic of a profile. And then you have your shorter-term roguelike progression as well. So this is the campaign editor. Right now, you only have your standard gameplay unlocked as well as the basic relic, and then your basic roster of classes, which only gives you the recruit. Later on, you can unlock the soldier, scout, and scholar to immediately launch your campaign. As I said earlier, I took inspiration from Faster Than Light. This is my take on their ship selection screen. If you've ever played that game, at the beginning of the game you can select the ship from the ships that you've unlocked and then proceed into the game itself. So we just have standard. We have the basic relic, which gives us 1 unit, and our unit can only be a recruit because we haven't unlocked the classes. So that's your basic opening profile there, and we're off into the game. So every game starts you in the same place in the opening of Lanfear Valley. You're going to start with one randomly generated soldier with the same loadout. There's not really much to do here. You're not going to have any loot in your inventory. I'm just going to turn the game volume down just a little bit. That's not even remotely close enough, so let's take it down just a little bit more. I think that's hopefully enough. I don't know if you can hear me. The game volume is very loud. Okay, so this is Cameron, and let's get to it. Let's get out on the map. So eventually I'd like to replace all of these with storyline encounters, a lot like what Slay the Spire did with its question mark encounters. Like different things can happen to you at different places. So those are really just placeholders right now. Off into a tactics battle. We have a very small wolf. Two of them. Easy, no problem. So you get 1 XP and you'll graduate into one of the 3 classes randomly. There's a little bit more organic mechanics under the hood there in terms of how they select their class, but Cameron's upgraded into a scout, and we've dropped Oathsworn leathers and a scroll case and some flanks. So we don't have the recipe to cook these flanks yet, so we won't be able to do anything with that. We'll put them down there though in the hopes that we'll get one. Get that armor on and back out onto the map. Oh wait, before I do that, let's take a look at the class. So we've learned a few talents here based on the scout class. You get your leather armor training, infiltrator, which gives us the ability to go invisible or stealth, as well as short blades and bows. Only one option here, and it's straight into the matriarch. So I feel like scouts are really underpowered right now. We have the ability to mark, but it costs us 1 action point to do that. And we have ambush, which also costs an action point. And with the beginning equipment, ambush just isn't going to do enough damage to be meaningful. It also costs essence to use ambush, so some of the ideas that I had to balance this would be to either give the scout another action point every turn, or introduce some mechanics to drop selective loot for the first encounter, like maybe we drop a bow and a dagger. So this is what I'm talking about. Like the scout really has no recourse with a sword. I should have attacked first. So I have to kite. I have to kite the matriarch. I know that she's very slow. I won't ever have a chance to mark her because I don't have enough action points to do so. And there's also a known issue where her grieflings won't ever attack. The AI for those grieflings is being driven by a social mechanic, but I think she gets out of range, so she doesn't broadcast her target to them. Still a work in progress, like I said. And then just keep kiting and kiting and kiting. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear the game or not. I really don't know what's going on. I hope you can hear it, and I hope you're... Anyway, continuing to kite. It's fairly easy, so this is obviously not an ideal situation. The boss isn't challenging. It shouldn't be challenging. It should be the first... So I want the griefling, the matriarch, to be an easy encounter. But I don't want the solution to this encounter to be running away. I don't think that that's fun or interactive. I want the scout to be able to use her abilities. I want to be able to use mark and ambush. I don't want to have to run away, and I don't know. It's just not fun that way, I don't think. I think maybe if I give the scout more action points to start with, that's not bad. Yep, we'll go with it. Still no crafting, so here we go. So we've opened it up. The tutorial is done. You've defeated the matriarch, and now it's time to play the game. It is worth noting that we didn't get one of the class drops, so she has a chance to drop one of the class items that unlocks the classes. It didn't drop this time, so I suppose we could exit out and continue grinding the matriarch until we get that drop, or we can just move ahead, because there's other unlocks out there for us to get. Specifically from these wolves. I don't have vigilance, so this is probably not the best move. I think I'm actually about to die. That helmet saved my life there. Uh-oh. So I'm using key bindings. I'm going to try to avoid using key bindings from now on. I'm actually going to just start using the mouse. Um, so the key bindings, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very, very simple setup. If you've ever played a game like World of Warcraft, it should be basically intuitive. So we're just going to hopefully finish this. Okay, maybe not. Alright. I think I have to kite this one. They move too fast, though. They're not really kiteable. Wolves are not really kiteable by any class. Great weapons. Toughness on an amulet, and a ring with nothing on it. So I feel like these are dropping too often for sure. I think what I'd like to do is build in a weighted drop set so that weapons and armor are favored. I feel like jewelry just happens too often. We're getting these pieces that are learn great weapons there, just in case I find a two-handed weapon. Still nothing there, so moving on. Let's clear this back half here. Alright, first encounter with Grieflings, and there's a Pain Seeker with them. I want to take him out quickly, but again, I have a Scout. I'm almost tempted to just... I feel like the Scout needs some serious attention right now. I don't think she'll survive this encounter. Grieflings move too quickly. Yeah, I kind of want this to be over. I feel like with more action points, the Scout would be better able to get into a position where she can use Infiltrator better. Especially in a solo situation, the Scout really relies on having teammates around so that she can exploit her Infiltrator ability. Where's Infiltrator? There. So Infiltrator is by design. It's so if she's not seen during any particular turn, then she'll become unseen. If she's unseen during the turn, she'll become hidden. When she's hidden, she gets various effects from her skills and talents. She can do more damage, see better, hide better, etc. As a solo character, she really doesn't have the ability to exploit her Infiltrator talents, so I think maybe with an extra action point she would be better able to. I don't know. Really not sure how to handle that right now. Let's grab that new armor though. So we went from 20% protection with camouflage to 25% protection with camouflage and dark melting. It's a pretty significant upgrade, I would say. So there's a bug in this build right now, and I think we're starting to see that bug express itself. Basically, anytime you level up with a toughness item on, it'll take the enhanced toughness as your base before it gives you your level up hit points. Oof, that hurt. Yeah, I don't see this. I can't move away because she's engaged. And the Enforcer and the Thug both have Vigilance, so I think this is going to be it. Which is fine. I'd rather test with the Soldier or Scholar anyway. The Scout is just in a really bad spot. I'm working on the Scholar this week, so maybe next week I can take a deep dive into the Scholar and the Scout rather, and really take a look at how I can allow her to express her abilities as a solo character. That's lots of, oh yeah, that's the graveyard loot. So when you die, when your unit is slain, you'll drop all your stuff in the world. You can come back and get it if you can find your way back. But then that's it. That's one run, you're done. We didn't get any unlocks this time, but we do have the gravesite we can go back to. But let's get right back into it. Today we've got Royal. She hasn't upgraded her class yet. And again, she starts out with the same gear, but she did roll some fine equipment. So hopefully she can do something with it. So these encounters are all set up right now the same way. All the units will start out in the same spots. There's no exploration or sussing out to do by any means, but I'd like to change that. I have a few ideas as to how I can do that. Randomized deployment, more set pieces, of course the encounters and the storyline encounters, the dynamic stories that are going to be told through the encounter dialogue there. I think Royal's not going to make it unless she gets rid of this Thug. I think this is where she gets kited and dies. Oh, there's a bug. Alright, so let's get that log. And we're going to grab that. Alright, so and there you go. So it turns out that crash was a fatal crash. Not sure what happened. I think that was probably a pathfinding bug. Essentially, the skirmisher there wanted to kite away but couldn't find a path to kite away. For some, I think it was actually it's in the Berserk. It must be a Berserk issue because that skirmisher was Berserk. Her intuition should be to kite, but the Berserk, it will just try to stand and fire. So I'll have to look at the Berserk reaction for a fix for that one, but it's logged, so we'll get it fixed. Let's get a new one going. Just terminate that old data. It's really not useful to us in that bugged state, so but we know about the bug. We have it cataloged. Moving on. If we can find more examples of that bug, that would be great. I don't think he's going to survive this. So this is another problem. The Fallen right now drain too much essence. If she gets so if she hits for 3 essence on her Enervate in 2 attacks, or if she gets a bonus, oh, never mind. I had an extra attack. I'm fine. So I get plate armor even if I don't roll a soldier, which is kind of nice, but I did roll a soldier, so it's a moot point. Don't need it. So we did level up into the soldier class. Once we hit level 2, I'll probably take second skin, maybe shield fighter, I don't know, we'll see. I feel like plating is a little bit too overpowered right now, it's got to be tuned. Plate armor, so the way armor works, there's two different types of armor, three actually. You have protection, which gives a percent reduction of all incoming damage, usually physical. You have deflection, which has a small chance to deflect up to the shield's damage on a number of attacks each turn. And then you have plate, and I feel like plate is probably broken. It's a flat reduction on all incoming damage. And once it starts stacking up into later tiers, it just it reduces too much damage, especially for NPCs. For the player being a solo player, it's probably appropriate, but I feel like that was easy. Vigilance is pretty strong, I guess. Grab all this stuff. Make some arrows. We got crossbows unlocked. So learn crossbows. Can't use the tome, but I'd really like that first aid kit up there. And let's actually make some bandages. Tuck those in there. And this soldier is already set up pretty well. I think the soldier can probably do some damage to this run. We'll see. So with Vigilance, anytime anyone steps into range, he's going to take an opportunity attack. So we got a Berserk reaction on this Griefling, but if it would have crashed, it would have crashed there. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the kite back behavior on that bow user. It's a conflict between the Berserk and the kite back. So everything's still nice. Everything's still going to be really easy because I haven't defeated the Matriarch yet. The Matriarch is where the world level gets increased. So right now the world level is still tier 1. Everything is going to be fairly simple until I defeat the Matriarch. I already have that unlocked as well. And that's gold. If I find a merchant, let's head over and kill the Matriarch. Wake up. Those are my friends. Oh, I know. Alright. So I want to add more effects there. I want there to be like I don't want to get too gruesome on a live stream, but I want there to be like, you know, birthing stuff splash out on the floor. I tried a shader for it. It didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I decided I'd leave it out and take another chance or another try at it later. I do like how the cocoons turned out though. They've got that little animating look and they look like they're a little bit wet. Really happy with the way they turned out. So low damage, but I'm going to use my bash ability. So this is what I want for the scout. I want the scout to be able to use her abilities in this encounter. The soldier just feels really fun, or at least more interactive than the scout does. The soldier doesn't really need to kite away, and if he does, I can just use taunt to further reduce the Matriarch's ability. Want to be careful about killing these though. While we're in the Consume Grief. So this red rain is the Matriarch's ability to consume grief. Anything that dies in this area will heal her. So we're just gonna kite away a little bit, and then exploit the vigilance. Step up again and get another bash. And that AI is disappointing. So they should all be attacking. There's a mechanic where she will socially broadcast. Should be up to 15 hexes. I'm not sure why they're not turning around to investigate. Needs to be looked at. I think I might have to use a bandage here soon. Depends on how much damage she does on this attack. None. That's what bash does for you. Just keep her bashed. She can't do anything. She's losing action points every turn. The soldier really kind of lays into her that way. No unlocks. That's okay. Vigilance on a ring, that seems useful for a soldier. So these elements, they almost exclusively drop from Grieflings. Probably mostly because I didn't really know what to drop from Grieflings, but I feel like it's just too much. I can make 12 times 12 arrows, 144 arrows, which is just wasteful, especially for a non-bow user. So I feel like maybe we need to look at, or I need to look at making the Griefling crafting drops a little bit more meaningful and impactful. I don't need the suns. That's literally money right now. So back out onto the map for some more. We are in World Tier 2 now though, so things should start getting spicy. I'm going to use a bandage. Shitty bandage. Poopy bandage. Sorry about my language there. Uh-oh. I think Shay is about to meet his end here. So this is what I was talking about before. Plating feels really, really, really strong on NPCs. If I lock this in here, so this NPC has plating 2 with 43% damage reduction on the plate armor. So the best I can do with this weapon right now is 1 to 6, which means 1 to 4 before the plate or after the plating, and then a 40% chance, 40% reduction on top of that. So the most damage I'm going to get on his health is going to be 2. That's going to take 5 attacks, assuming I can roll max damage every time. So I'm going to have to do a concussion here. And I need to get over to those, but I can't because I'm locked down with vigilance. See, this is what I'm talking about. So I feel like I'm a little overwhelmed right now. It's supposed to be difficult, right? It's a roguelike game. It's supposed to be this way. You're supposed to feel challenged, but I feel like maybe it's a little too challenging, at least until we get those the relic unlocks. The relic unlocks aren't going to happen until we get the class unlocks, so the relic unlocks happen as a consequence of unlocking the classes. And we've defeated the matriarch twice now. I think I wrote that she has a 30% chance to drop a class item. And I think Shay's done. Yeah. Oh well. Just too strong. Plating is just too strong in the hands of the enemy right now. Especially when you're up against overwhelming odds. If it was just one enemy, if I didn't have to tank the DPS from those 2 bow users, then I might have pulled through. Wolves, I feel like they're in a pretty good spot. They move quickly, they're not kiteable. They're not too strong, but they're not too, well, World Tier 1, they're going to be really weak. Give me the recipe. Yeah, I got the recipe for Roast Wolf. So this is a permanent unlock for the profile. Once you get this, it'll never drop again for you, but you'll always have it once we get back to the map. It's consumed automatically by the game. I want to do like a toast notification here somewhere. I don't know, maybe up here, some kind of notification that tells you, hey, by the way, you just got this cool new thing. So now we can make roast wolf over here. If we grab this stuff in here, we can make some roast wolf, which is kind of nice. Get over to the campsite and let's consume some to heal up. Get that on. And let's go kill the matriarch again, and hopefully we get a soldier unlock. Yeah, mom mode will come eventually. Oh, I didn't notice we leveled up a scholar, so I guess that's good. We can show off the scholar. So long as we're not getting scout, that's fine by me. I'd really like to get a plate manual with the scholar. I'm actually looking forward to getting that. I'd like to see how broken it is. But this should be pretty quick. I don't think the Griefling can do enough, the Matriarch can do enough damage. I think I can just heal tank this whole fight with the Scholar, which feels good, right? You level up into a Scholar, that's your strength. You're going to heal tank this fight. And that's what the Scholar should be able to do. The Scout just feels like it's in a really bad place. Definitely needs to be looked at. It's weird that the Feral is doing more damage than the Matriarch. Oh, that was bad. Let's see if we can get a better roll. Not that much better. There you go. Got a nice helmet. Tomes, which we already know. So again, so that's another drop issue that I want to look at. I feel like the game probably shouldn't drop tomes that are known. World Tier 2. Let's see how hard this gets. I should start heading toward the Seneschal. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. I don't even think I can get to the Seneschal right now. That was a mistake. Oh boy. I think I've locked myself into a bad situation here. So the Fallen, when they hit you, they steal your essence. They're essence starved. I think I'm going to have to play the scout kiting on this. Because I just don't... without essence to heal myself, the Scholar just can't do anything against the Fallen. Again, this is another thing, another reason why we want to get that Relic unlocked as soon as possible. Because having a Scholar and a Soldier, or a Scholar and a Scout, or a Scout and a Soldier would be ideal. But that's 3 kills on the Griefling Matriarch in this session, and she still hasn't dropped a single story yet. I think I'm going to have to buff that drop rate. Scholar with a dagger, bow manual, that could come in handy. So the steel hammer with the 2 to 12 damage is going to be nice. Let's grab our loot. Still don't have a medical pack though, so I don't have anywhere to put these. The backpack can only hold utility items. That's stuff like the torch, for example. I said I was going to head toward the seneschal. I guess I'm not doing that yet. Big damage on the hammer. Feels good. Yeah, I agree with that comment for sure. There's tons of games out there where I've said, "What is this? This isn't fun. This is why am I playing this?" Huge damage on the hammer. It has to be so. There's a fine line between challenging and too hard, but there's also the other side of that coin. It can't be so underwhelming that it's boring and not fun. So that's definitely a challenge that I've set up. So we got a helmet with vigilance and melee competence too, which is a nice thing for a scholar to have. We're going to equip that as soon as possible. The bandolier's not going to do much for us because grenades don't drop right now. But even the reduction in toughness and protection, actually, with vigilance and melee competence, I think I'm just going to go for it. So I want to head toward the seneschal. So the seneschal is in the tower. Seneschal is always waiting for us in the tower. But I have to get there. And with the world tier 2, so long as I don't meet up against any game crashing bugs, I think I'm set up pretty good to get there. Whoops. And there's that bug, the health expression, the health bug expression. Again, it's still happening. It's actually fixed in the current build. This is last week's build. This bug has already been fixed. I know about it. So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to play with the old build. 2 leather armor manuals. That feels useless. Not completely useless, I guess. We have our old armor, so we can use one of these and make it this equipable. It gives us a pretty big boost on the protection. It's 28% from 5%, so even the camouflage is nice. Not really useful for the scholar, especially for a solo unit. And we got a potion sling with no potions to put in it, but it's just a stat stick, which is fine. Let's cook these up. And let's eat one. So you can see there he's nourished. So he'll passively heal up while we're on the world map as we make our way to the tower. It looks like we want to go... The road comes this way here. More wolves. So eventually these wolves are going to start getting their howl. I'm pretty sure they won't get it until world tier 3 though. So we may never see it. Because even if I can get to the Seneschal, I'm pretty sure the Seneschal will wipe me. It's a boss fight intended to be fought with 3 geared units. I only have 1, so the Seneschal should wipe me off the map. If I can even get there. This run is looking pretty good though. I'd like to meet a merchant. Maybe there's a merchant on the way. I can go digging for a merchant in the encounters. I know there's one out there somewhere. We've got an enforcer and an ambusher. And a blade? Uh-oh. He reduced 9 damage from that hit. This is not gonna go well. 4 from plating, 40% from protection. And he's wearing a shield. I think this is doomed. I think this is truly doomed. Whoops. That animation was a little janky. Yep, and the enforcer's right in my way. So with 8 hit points, the damage reduction from the plate armor on the NPC is just too much. At least I won't take any hits while she's terrified, so that's kind of a bonus. I can't heal myself until the enforcer's gone, because the enforcer will have vigilance. And healing provokes opportunity, so I need to deal with this enforcer. And it's not going to happen like that. I also need to deal with the DPS from this blade. It's too much incoming damage. Okay, I need to crush this. I need the blade out of the way. Maybe I can survive the enforcer. It's a good thing I got that armor upgrade, because this would be over a lot sooner without that protection. There we go. Now I can heal with my second action point. We're back in the game. Because she just rallied, she's going to start hitting again. And she's terrified again. Haha. Alright. I was certain that was a doomed run. Bandolier with toughness on it. Again, grenades don't drop right now, but a bandolier with toughness on it is going to be better than my current backpack, so I'll take it. What do I got? I've got vigilance and 10% on it. My current helmet. I'm going to keep it. Yep. I think that's all we can do for now. Actually, we're going to eat some food and then head back out. Oh, why did I do that? I did it again. I think I might die an essence death here. Run. Run, run, run. So essence death happens when the unit has been reduced to -10 essence. The hit point death is not the only death that you can suffer. -6 essence in one shot. It's a good thing there's not more of them. 28%. I think we leave that behind. Definitely taking that. Definitely taking that. And I'll leave these behind. I have an idea for some Fog of War to make these more impactful. Right now they're really not. That's just worth money, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to cook these. Craft those. What do we got left here? Eat that. Space is starting to get tight. And I went the wrong way. Okay, this might be it. If that thug has a good roll, no, I don't want to walk up. You come to me. Come to me. They're not coming to me. Come to me. They're still not coming to me. I said come to me. Give me your plate armor. Oof. That hurts. The great sword hurts. So the thug has vigilance. The thug has vigilance. I can't heal while this thug is engaged with me. But the blade's going to do a ton of damage, especially while he's hidden. Blade is hidden, dealing 100% more damage. So I need to get this thug out of the way so I can resume heal tanking this. Ow. Oh no, well, I guess that works too. If he scores a big hit, I think Austin's dead. You get one more like that. Oh no. I think I live. Oh. There we go. Nice flip. Heal. And I just realized Austin is level 2, so I'm gonna have to take care of that on the next screen. Blades Leathers with 29%, we'll take it. And a great sword. I'm gonna have to make some room here. So I think, I don't know. Let's let chat decide. What talent should I take here? Physician makes all healing that Austin does increased by a scaling amount based on his level. So as he increases in level, he will do more healing. Librarian reduces conviction damage, and Mentalist is like a shield for conviction damage. It's deflection. I think we'll take Physician. And then we're going to take let's take of Intent, because we're going to be healing ourselves. That's going to combo really nicely with the melee build that we have going on for our Scholar. really like to get some plate armor. I don't think he does. He know plate? No. So a good thing we found that leather tome, because all we've been getting is leather drops. Quick heal up. 31 points. That's what physician does for you. Great weapons. And another helmet. Did I pick up? Yeah, I do have a great weapon. I think I'm going to go greatsword. Good thing I saved that greatsword. We'll use, I mean, if he doesn't survive due to the fact that he no longer has a shield, then I'm pretty sure that's not going to be an issue because we still have that health stacking bug. So I'm going to abuse vigilance here. Vigilance, when they, why are they not? Okay, so this is just suddenly too easy. Sensitivity on a greatsword, that doesn't seem useful. So I think we need to actually make note of that. I'm gonna make it so that you should never be able to roll sensitivity on a weapon. That's definitely a forbidden enchantment for weapons, so definitely not allowed, or shouldn't be anyway. I'm gonna leave some of this stuff behind. It's not useful. We already have these talents. Grab the money. I think, oh, one more to get to the seneschal. Yeah, so that's actually ridiculously overpowered. We got vigilance on a helmet with 13% and toughness. So that's going to let us swap out. Too many helmets. Too many helmets in the drop tables. What can I leave behind here? Don't need that. Don't need that. I'll take that. And I'll take that. Where did it go? Vigilance with confidence and 10%. Vigilance with toughness and 13%. Sensitivity on a great weapon. Which, I mean, so on a scholar with great weapons, sensitivity is great. But we shouldn't be able to get that enchantment on any kind of weapon. And there you go. We have a game crashing bug, so let's just document that bug. We can't even get to the seneschal. Seneschal not plausible. But I feel like that's going to be it. So we got two bugs. We talked a little bit about the scout balance, which I think is going to be a priority coming up. And we're going to want to look at drop tables specifically for the class drops. We killed the matriarch a bunch of times there, and we didn't get a single drop on the class story, which is concerning. That should be something the player is engaged with all the time until those classes are unlocked and until those relics are unlocked. They should be almost permanently available. So we'll take a look at the drop rate on the class tokens, which should allow us to unlock relics. We also need to look at the scout balancing. The scout's in a really bad place. I'm glad that we didn't roll more than one scout this session. And drop rates on helmets. We want drop rates to be more focused towards weapons and armor, and less so on helmet and accessories and stuff like that. Although those things are fun, right now they're really just stat sticks. They don't alter the look of our character in any way. So until we start adding more unique tokens and trophies, I think we want to really focus in on getting the meaningful and impactful drops for the players. So I think that's a lot for me to work on. Until next time, thanks for joining me, and I hope you'll join me next time. Have a great day.